I have a job for you.
Jeez, it's not another arc, is it?
No, not again. This time I need a full-scale home renovation.
Noah Construction and Builders is your design and build partner. We do it all, from additions and dormers to full-scale renovations. Schedule your no-cost design consultation today. Visit us online at noahconstruction-builders.com.
Noah Construction and Builders. Through dreams we design, with vision we build.
And welcome to MuscleSport Media Live. I am your co-host, Joe Pietaro. Anthony is not here tonight, so my son Jimmy is pinch hitting. And there's a little segue to what the topic is going to be tonight for Anthony Tuminello. And, of course, Trevor behind the glass, getting it all out there to you guys. And quick shout-out, this is not possible without the boys at noahconstruction-builders.com. No job too big nor small for Pete and the guys at noahconstruction-builders.com. Speaking of construction, it seems like both New York local teams starting staffs are kind of a lot of changes over the spring with injuries and replacements. Jimmy, we'll start. You want to start with the Mets or the Yanks?
Start with the Yankees.
Start with the Yankees. Come on. I do like the Ryan Yarbrough signing. You're not as high on it as I am. I think he's very flexible. He can start. He was a good opener at one time. He was a full-time starter as well. And another left-handed veteran, and I love Tim Hill. You know, I remember him with the Padres. He killed the Mets. So I think the Yankees bringing in a guy like Yarbrough right here a couple of days before opening day is a nice addition. Getting him at the minimum, so if he's burnt out, I know Toronto got rid of him, cut him, and the Yankees were more than happy to jump on him. So he knows the division, obviously pitching for the Rays for so many years. I think that's a good thing, but he's not going to really be a star. He's going to be in the pen, and they had to make some adjustments because of Garrett Cole injuries a killer for the New York Yankees, right? So I guess we'll just start with the Yankees starting staff.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot weaker without Cole. I mean, it hurts to lose your ace, especially to a Tommy John, knowing you're not getting him back anytime soon. You'll see him sometime next year,
yeah,
which is a shame because the Yankees are looking to defend that AL pennant.
Mm-hmm.
And now losing that ace, it's going to be a lot harder to do so. I mean, the rotation still has some names.
Yeah.
Max Fried brought it in the offseason. You know
him well. If you're a Met fan, you see him kill the Mets with Atlanta.
Lefty starter, still an ace, pitches a lot of innings. Carlos Rodon, although he hasn't been this ace he was when the Yankees signed him, still is a good starter.
Inconsistent, but when he's on, he's really effective.
Marcus Stroman, although a bit of a headache at times, still eats innings. I mean, he gives up occasionally. He'll get bombed, give up some hard contact, but he gets ground balls and can start for you.
Yeah.
Then you've got Will Warren, who's a bit of a younger guy, and another former Met, Carlos Carrasco, made their opening day rotation.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's
wow. There. Okay, he was with Cleveland again last year.
And now
this was a former ace of the then
he was
Indians,
a very
now
good
Guardians.
Very good starter for Cleveland for many years, and then he had that cancer scare, missed some time, but came back.
Was in the deal with Lindor.
And
he had good for the Mets.
Some good moments for the Mets, but also fought through injuries.
Yeah, I mean, it's better the first year than the second, and then they let him walk, and he went back to Cleveland. I didn't know he was on
but the Yankees gave him a minor league deal, and he's done enough in spring.
He made it. He
to earn that fifth starting spot in the rotation.
Good for him. Cookie. I like Cookie Carrasco.
Good guy, good clubhouse guy.
Yeah, he was a good Met. I mean, it was a fun guy to have on the team. He had a lot of experience.
When he's on, he can still eat innings. I mean, he's not what he once was, but if he could still give you 4 or 5 innings here or there, that's more than you can ask for.
And you were saying, what was that comment? Was from Cashman, I think you said? What was that from Steinbrenner, that comment?
Which one?
Innings?
I think it was just in general. I think it was a different GM, but it was, give or take, you've got 1,500 innings per year.
Yeah.
You got to find guys who eat those up. I mean, you can't have an ace in every spot. You can't have a star reliever everywhere. Sometimes you just need guys.
Arms.
Yeah, guys who can give you 5 innings, give up 2 runs, although that might not look great, their stuff might not be too impressive if they can just eat innings for you.
Give them a chance to
There's
win
value.
the game. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's good. So the Yankees actually have a kind of, one of those, a hope and a prayer kind of starting rotation because of the injuries that they sustained. They're very strong in the bullpen.
Yeah,
they had a great
even
pen last
the
year.
Yankees pen, even if some of the names aren't recognizable, they always get the best out of
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they have good names back there, Devin Williams and Luke Weaver and Tim Hill.
Mhm.
But even when they've got nobodies back there, they give them innings and they give them good stuff.
A strong point. And then I guess we'll just go around the diamond a little bit. Austin Wells leading off. I know I'm old school and thick-headed with how batting orders have changed, and I can't get used to it. But what is the thing with Wells leading off?
Have to ask Aaron Boone. I really don't know.
I'm not a big Boone guy, but they won the pennant.
Wells has looked good in spring though, so they're putting some trust in him to lead off.
I understand the Schwarber lead off. I don't like it, but I get it because of we want to give him as many swings because he puts balls in freaking seats. That's what he does. Wells, he hits homers, but he's not.
Not a power hitter,
No,
even though he hits home runs.
Yeah,
he's not a traditional power hitter.
I don't understand. But that lineups have become very secondary in strategy as far as baseball goes. It has really nothing to do with
really all that
winning
matters with
strategy anymore.
lineups now is that your two hitter is your best hitter. That's where you put your star hitter,
I still can't get used to
and
this.
everyone around it kind of just falls into place.
I'm gonna fight it till the day I die. But two
But
hitters should be a patient guy to let that guy get that extra
It's not
base
how-
and walk down that leadoff.
They've determined that two is this because you get the most at bats, and there's a chance there's a guy on. So that's why
That's your main.
your
swinger.
main swinger because he's going to have the most
It
chances.
used to be the
And,
three because you'd have the first two guys on, you would hope, or a guy in scoring position with one out. Walk, he could, hit a ball to the right side, get him to second, and your number three hitter is your RBI guy. It's going to get a hit to right field and score that run in.
It's not the way it is anymore.
Oh, I'm so old.
Can't beat a computer.
Yeah, he gets on base. Right?
Yeah.
Tell him, Pete, he gets
It's
on
changed.
base. Yeah, Moneyball is, even though it's not Moneyball, that kind of set this whole analytics thing in motion and the sabermetrics and all of that. So the Yankees, they have injuries, but I still feel they're the best team in the AL. I know last time you were here, we were talking about Texas having a shot. They have some good.
Texas is good.
Yeah.
Houston, although they're trending downwards, can't be counted out. They're
Always there, and that division is very winnable.
even though the Rangers are good, they're not one of these slam dunk 100-win
No.
rosters.
Yeah. So that's a division that
Yeah.
either one of those two teams could
And
be
the
a
Mariners,
dominant.
even though their lineup is weak, they do have a great rotation. So
They have
again,
that
you
young
can't
staff from last year.
you can't
Yeah.
rule them out of being a good playoff team.
Yeah.
The AL East, I mean, the Yankees, again, they won the pennant fairly easily last
Mhm.
year, but that roster's getting depleted. Soto is no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
Cole is going to be out the whole year. Stanton, who knows what's going on with him. There's real concern of, is this roster healthy enough and deep enough to do it again?
Yeah.
Boston is much improved.
They're going to be a tough out.
I think they could be a favorite to win the AL East with the Yankees so injured. You add Crochet to that rotation. I think he has potential to be one of the best starters in baseball
Could
this
be
year.
with the support.
He had the best, some of the best stuff with the White Sox. Didn't give you as many innings and was on such an awful team. Now in a better team, a better franchise and fan base. Hopefully he gives you more. Alex Bregman was a big pickup.
Yeah.
They still have Devers and Duran, just good players. All their big prospects are coming up this year. So Boston has a chance to maybe win the AL in general, not just the East.
Yeah, no, definitely. They're not going to be. I still feel the Yankees have the most talent, and they're going to win the pennant when it's all said and done. But there are teams, i.e., Boston, Texas, that are going to have something to say about this.
Baltimore is still around. They didn't do enough this offseason, which I think is a big letdown because you have a new owner. You say, all right, we've got a new guy who's willing to spend some money. You lose Corbin Burns and then replace him with kind of cobble together veterans. You got Kyle Gibson and Charlie Morton, and Tomoyuki Sagano, an older Japanese starter. Like, not bad players, but, you got these young guys. You have this loaded up lineup full of young superstars and top prospects. You got to spend money while those guys are on their rookie deals. I mean,
Yeah.
by the time you give Gunnar
Can't
Henderson
afford all
an
of them,
extension or Adley Rutschman an extension,
Yeah.
the money dries
That's
up
right,
to
yeah.
sign a starter or a big reliever,
Yeah.
and they haven't done it.
I mean, they had a good year last year. They finished in second, made the playoffs. They might take a step
But
back this
they were
year and
swept
miss
by
it.
Kansas City in that 2-game wild card, scored
Can't
one
have
run
that.
across 18 innings. It's
Not
just
good.
at
With
home
Burns
and at home.
and with the
Yeah.
Santander, I say.
And Burns, they kind of sold. I mean, Burns gave them 8 innings, 1 run, and he didn't get the win. He had a DeGrom experience.
Yeah, you got to push some runs across. So yeah, that's the with
And
the
in the Central, you can't rule out the Guardians. They were good last year.
they had a good year.
Royals, Tigers, fun teams. I mean, there is talent in the Central.
Tigers, everybody's expecting them. They're not going to sneak up on anybody this year like they did at the end last year.
No.
Great end to the season. They're very hot. They made the playoffs, and it was a good feel-good story for a team that's been, second division team for a long time. We'll change gears a little bit. We'll go into the senior circuit, the National League. We'll start with the Mets, obviously, since we're New York sports talk over here. New York Mets, similar situation like last year. You got a lot of middle kind of pitchers, middle rotation guys. David Stearns that's type
What
of
he
GM.
does.
That's his forte is to bring in guys at low risk, low cost.
Maximize value.
Yeah, and
Get a
then
guy
not a
who doesn't
long-term
cost a
deal.
lot, but he can give you
Get what you
innings.
can out of them. Now they had the injuries too, just like the Yankees had. Mania being out, I think, is a real tough blow to them because he was
Yeah.
so important to that team last year in the second
Yeah,
half.
I mean, he was not just the ace of the team, but was one of the better starters in baseball
Yeah.
down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, he was phenomenal. He was the main guy that led them to that playoff spot as a pitcher, along with Peterson. But this year, they Severino leaves as a free agent. But this is what's going to happen with these kind of deals. What Stearns is doing. He's doing 1 or 2 year deal
You
guys.
can't keep them all forever. Eventually,
No, but he replaced them with Montas. Unfortunately, Montas did get injured in spring training.
and his is a bit longer term. We won't.
He's-
Mania, we might be able to see in a few weeks, a month. Montas is going to be a
All-star
couple
break.
months.
Yeah, he's
I mean, he's
second half guy.
hopefully May or June, but a lot of times these injuries end up.
The Mets are very, I think,
They
overly cautious.
They say
sometimes.
May and he comes in 4th of July.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
and
just
well, Senga, he kept hearing so many things with him, and
it's
came
just
back,
pitchers are finicky.
Yeah,
They start throwing a bullpen and they feel a little tightness, immediately
down.
shut back down.
Yeah. So the Mets have kind of a patchwork rotation. Clay Holmes is starting the opening game Thursday in Houston, right? They're
Yeah.
starting in Houston. Just
Which I
a
don't
brutal
think
job by MLB
anyone
with the
would
opening
have
day matchups too.
predicted a year ago that Clay Holmes
Clay
would be the
Holmes,
Mets opening
the
day
Mets
starter.
opening day starter, and he was the
A closer
with the Yankees when the other kid was hurt, and he did a good job. He had some ups and downs, but he wanted to be a starter.
Yankees fans ragged on Clay Holmes. He was, by the stats, a good starter, a good closer, but he
Yeah.
did blow quite a few big saves. So
He did. But
And,
they overcame it.
similar to Diaz's, bad spots in New York.
Closers
Have a thankless job. And when you do your job, no one remembers it unless you're an all-time great like a Mariano.
And
But everyone just says he's doing his job. When he blows it, he's public enemy number 1.
I mean, you go 3 for 10 and you're hitting 300. You're a good guy. The guy goes 3 for 10 and saves. He's cut.
Yeah.
he's on the
stocking
street.
shelves.
So they have Clay Holmes starting the season. They have
Tylor McGill
Tylor.
is starting this Friday night game on Apple TV. So if you want to watch it, $14.99 a month.
No, that's all right. I'll follow it on Twitter. We'll crash stream.
Griffin Canning, 3.
Another
patchwork.
He is a
low
Stearns
money
type of
pickup.
guy. Yeah, like similar to Siriano last year. I like Canning. I told you I liked some of those starters on the Angels. They had some good young guys, and the Braves didn't like them. It's just
Canning hasn't had a lot of success in his career. He's had moments. He's shown flashes.
Yeah.
And part of you gets worried because the Braves needed starters this offseason, and they
go.
non-tendered him when he was making cheap. So if a smart organization like Atlanta with a need in the rotation doesn't even want to look to trade him, they just want to cut bait and save the money.
Is there a red flag? The Mets
I think it's a bit of a red flag, but again, at the end of the day, you have to trust Stearns' judgment.
Yeah,
the rotation on paper for the
proven.
Mets last year looked awful, and it ended up being
Brutal, yeah.
much better than advertised and leading them to the NLCS.
They had a great year with this thrown
with
together
and
rotation.
with Senga out for
Senga
pretty
was-
much the entire year, all
He
but a
was out
few
all year.
innings,
That one start and then he pitched
couple innings in the playoffs.
Yeah,
But
he was
so
hurt all
although
year.
there's some, I think, red flags, you have to trust Stearns' judgment
Yeah.
that he can get
And
something out of
listen,
this guy.
The Braves could be wrong for once.
Yeah,
You know?
can't-
Finally.
Can't win them all.
I mean, they're pretty good. Maybe they screwed this one up. Then Peterson, if he's healthy,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean, he
Peterson,
was great for them down the
phenomenal
stretch.
last year. Ace type of work out of David Peterson. He's still young. He's a left-hander. He's got good stuff.
Just can he be consistent and healthy? 'Cause
Yeah.
David Peterson has had stretches in his career before, nothing as successful as last year,
Yeah,
but
that was
where
best.
he's looked like a consistent major leaguer, and then he'll follow it up by either getting hurt or struggling. So
yeah.
hopefully he builds on what he did last year and proves that he's a real major league starter.
Yeah.
He's not just a flash in the pan.
And then they have at the end of the rotation.
Kodai Senga, where that's just where he was lined up to start.
Well, it's no, we're just naming names. So Senga obviously, when healthy, could be an ace.
But
he's
will
a couple
he-
of years older now
will
from
he
that 2
be
years
healthy,
ago.
and will he be able to replicate his rookie year? I mean,
Yeah,
that's a couple years ago now, and he missed basically all of last season.
yeah.
You know, what's he got? You have to until you show it to me. There's always going to be doubt.
To me, the Mets, they're in a good position because they don't need any of these pitchers to be a 20-game winner. Well, what
No.
used to be a 20-game, now it's a 15 to 18 is kind of the bar. It's lower
If
bar.
that 13,
Yeah.
15.
So basically, if these guys could all win 9 to 12 games and be over 500 and not have horrible ERAs, they're going to be in good position.
Eat
somewhere.
innings, don't give up a ton
Yeah.
of runs. That's what they just need innings.
The-
I mean,
these-
their
yeah.
lineup is good enough where I think
They're going to score runs.
they can get away with the rotation regressing a little bit from last year. Like that
Mhm.
second half last year, rotation was great.
Yeah,
You know, they can live with them regressing to the means a bit.
it's going to be hard to show that same
Because
consistency over
Now
a full
you've
season.
added Juan Soto to this lineup.
Mhm.
Brett Beatty's killing it in spring. Maybe he's
Is
finally
he making
figured it
the
out.
team?
He's making the
Did they
team.
make a
He's-
decision on that final roster we were talking about?
I don't
just
think
going
they've
over a
officially
little bit. They
finalized
haven't
the
announced the full-fledged
opening day roster, but Beatty will be on it. That's Acuna's
He
the
will be on.
Acuna's the
gonna-
one who might not be. He might be
I think it's. I'd rather see him
because
get
of that McNeil injury.
Get him in AAA. Let him start every day 4 at-bats a
But
night.
Beatty-
Sitting on the bench in City Field is not going to help.
But
his career.
Beatty has played a good second base in spring, shown some versatility with his glove,
So now
and
is he?
he's hit. I think he hit 4 home runs in spring and hit like 3 something. I mean,
All right. Well, the guy hitting the
it's-
minors.
you got to
know?
take spring with a grain of salt. It's not always major league pitchers. It's a
True.
smaller park, but
Yeah.
still, he's shown something. It's better than nothing.
Listen, he went down. He didn't complain. He went down to AAA and just tore the cover off the ball down there. Didn't cry when he didn't get recalled. You know, it's not as big
He
as the
seems
September
also
call up.
like a good clubhouse guy. When he was up with the team and Vientos kind of usurped him and took his spot, he
Yeah.
was supporting him, and he
Yeah.
wasn't sitting there pouting, going, "Oh man, I blew it.
Yeah.
I
So,
lost my third base job."
and that's probably why he's still around.
Yeah,
You know, they see something in
But
him, and they hope, all right, he's
if-
going to be patient, and he
I mean,
knows he's going to get
people
an opportunity. Now.
forget because this is a few years ago. Beatty was a top 30 prospect in
prospect.
baseball. I mean, he was. They were
How-
talking
we
about
were
dangling
excited
him
when he
for.
got called up.
They were talking about if they trade him, getting stars for him. He was
Yeah.
a big name prospect
Yeah.
deal, and they ended up hanging on to him, and it hasn't worked out so far, but if he could finally put that together,
Mhm.
it changes the complexion of the team a lot.
All right, right now McNeil's still out. What's the second base situation look like right now, opening day?
I think it's going to be mostly Beatty. Again, could be Acuna. They've talked they even might look to pick up a veteran because they had that injury to that shortstop they picked up from the Cubs. I'm forgetting his name.
Ooh, if you're gonna,
Yeah,
if you don't know it,
either way, he got.
you know all of
yeah.
the guys. I don't know.
I'm drawing a blank on his name. But he got injured on like his first game in spring, so that hurt their infield depth.
Yeah. Bring back what's his name? The beard there caught the bat on the bench.
Oh, Guillermo.
Luis, yeah.
But they again, it looks like it's going to be Beatty at least most days at second.
Okay, so Iglesias moved on.
He's saying that he's making. They said he
Yeah.
made the Padres. He's not.
Okay, good for him. He was a fun guy to have on the Mets, but again, like
Maybe
we
it's-
thought, is
Maybe
They're
it's
gonna-
better to let him go because you have warm memories of him. If he came back and stunk in the majors, it might have
Yeah.
soured the
OMG stuff.
fun that last year was.
Yeah, and he was definitely right in the middle
A
of all
lot of
that.
times
Played
those
well.
feel-good stories, they don't extend past that year. You got to just
Yeah.
kind of wipe your hands and move on.
Yeah, well, listen, he did his job here, and
He was
wish
great.
him
I
luck.
mean, he saved them. He
Yeah, he played really
propelled
well.
them, and then when McNeil got hurt late last year, he stepped into that spot and hit well.
He was hitting the ball, and he played
Played a
fine.
great glove in second.
Played a good DP combo. So Beatty is going to see.
Sometime.
He's going to
Yeah.
have at bats. He
Yeah.
might start every game at second base for the most part. I think Acuna. I would rather not see him up here. I think he still needs. It was fun to see him up for a little bit last year, but I think he needs.
He needs to
more
show more
seasoning.
consistency at AAA. He wasn't good in AAA
He
last year,
wasn't.
even though he was
No.
excellent when he came up for Lindor.
Yeah.
It's also could have just been a 2-week hot stretch. It's not a big sample size.
No, and he was hitting good in AA, not good in AAA, and then in 1 year he won all
Yeah.
those levels. He made it up to the
I
biggest.
mean, he's a fun player, but he might just need a little more time to work on his
He'll
game.
be up at some point this year, but I think to start the year, he needs to play every day, get as many
Yeah, he
at-bats
might
as he
start the
can.
year for a little, and then McNeil back off the IL, and they send him down.
Yeah, but I'd be excited to see Beatty at second because I think he brings a lot to the table. He's another left-handed bat with power. So they have Soto from the left side. They have Beatty from the left side. Alonso's back with the
Lindor
right
hit
side.
switch.
Lindor switch.
Vientos right.
Vientos is hitting right. Kamisikian, but the outfield is hitting left.
Nimmo.
Brandon Nimmo.
Winker and Marte give you a little DH platoon. You can have a lefty
Lefty
or
righty. That's another thing. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about bringing Winker back and the situation with Starling Marte with Soto obviously playing right field. So Marte is going to be kind of a DH, fourth outfielder
DH
kind
bench
of guy.
bat. Yeah, I mean Marte's defense has fallen off a bit. I mean he's old.
Getting older. Yeah.
He's older. He's
Some
battled
lower body injuries.
Battled injuries.
Yeah. He's,
Winker is not a good defender. I mean, it's kind of your prototypical DH duo. Guys
Yeah.
who have had success in the past but are a little older, a little less consistent.
mm-hmm.
But I think bringing Winker back was good. I mean, he's got some pop in that bat.
Yeah.
He's a fun clubhouse guy. He's kind of a crazy dude throwing the helmet. And,
Yeah, no, he
starting
was a
fights
big
with
part
the
of that
Brewers.
whole run last year. He got the fans all
he
pumped
loved
up.
being a Met. It was cool to bring him back.
Yeah.
And I think he's got potential. I mean, this guy was an all-star a few years ago. He
Yeah.
still does have a good
With
bat.
Cincinnati, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's moved around a little bit. But I like that combo at DH. And you know me, I want to see I hate the DH, first of all, but I want to see an older guy like Martinez last year, even though his power was lower than I would have liked to see from that spot. I always picture the DH to be the guy to make up the home runs that you're missing maybe from a corner outfielder who's not as much as a power hitter.
But they just want guys to
they just
deepen
want-
that lineup.
Yeah.
Another professional hitter there.
Yeah, so both of those guys are good hitters.
Yeah, Winker hits righty pitching very well. Doesn't hit lefty pitching.
Yeah.
Marte hits lefty pitching better. So
Yeah.
you've got that covered there.
And both of them can play the outfield.
If you need him to.
They can, they're both.
It's not like J.D. Martinez where he was an
couldn't play
exclusive DH.
Yeah, he couldn't play
Winker
maybe first base.
and
in a
Marte,
pinch.
their defense isn't good, but they
Like
can.
Marte, he still got some wheels. And
The
he got to some balls last year.
The fielding stats didn't love him.
No, I know, but he did show some decent range for a guy with age.
I mean,
and
he does still have a
leg
strong
injuries.
arm.
He does throw the ball. He has a nice arm.
He's not what he once was out there, but he still could play it. I mean, he is a former center fielder.
And he was a really good center fielder with Florida. I mean,
with Pittsburgh mostly back in the day.
But he's a good hitter, a veteran. Winker is, kind of a younger veteran compared to him. So they're kind of good covered over there. Let's move around the league a little bit because we got about 3 minutes left. Obviously, the division's loaded again. Atlanta, when they're healthy, is always going to be there. Philadelphia is fantastic. I probably those are your teams. The other, you're not really looking at much with the Nats.
Nationals have a fun young team, but they're still probably a year or two away from playoffs.
Yeah,
Marlins are the bottom. They're in the basement right now.
That's just a disaster.
Even though they got Sandy Alcantara back, there's not much else.
Yeah.
I mean, on that roster, I don't think I can name more than a few players.
I have no idea who's on that team. I
mean, they really tore it down to the studs.
Should not even be a team there. But Atlanta and Philly will focus on. Obviously, they're both. Any big changes in the offseason to either of those teams?
Philadelphia, they mostly kept the core together, which some people thought they'd make kind of a big shake-up after losing to the Mets.
Mm-hmm.
They keep that same lineup there. They brought in Jesus Luzardo from the Marlins, a good lefty starter.
Good. I like that.
But he has battled injuries. But in theory, if he gets healthy, that rotation of Wheeler, Nola, Suarez, Sanchez, and Luzardo is really good.
Yeah, it's a great starting.
They lost a couple relievers they didn't really replace, but again, they've done a good job, getting a lot out of relief pitchers. So they're still going to be a good team. I mean, it looks like they're kind of trending downwards, but they still won the division in over 90 games last year. You probably still pencil them in that 90-win range.
Yeah, I mean, they're my pick to win the division. I mean,
I'm probably leaning towards Atlanta just because I think last year was a year from, hell for them.
And they still made the playoffs.
And they still won 89 games and made the playoffs. I mean,
so Atlanta, besides losing Max Fried, what else did they do? And the guy the Mets got, the
Minter.
accounting.
I mean, they really...
Oh, Minter. We didn't mention him on the Mets. But yeah,
Minter they really didn't do much, but they're just getting healthy. I mean, even though Acuna is still a little further away, Spencer Strider should be back relatively early in the year.
Yeah, huge.
Chris Sale, will hopefully be healthy and be able to repeat his Cy Young Triple Crown winning season last year.
What a comeback, phenomenal.
Spencer Schwellenbach was great. This is another guy who comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, big left-hander.
And then, I mean, their bullpen's still strong with Raisel Iglesias back there as the closer. And even though Acuna is going to miss some time, that lineup, if he gets back and is the Acuna that he has been, I mean, it's still loaded. Matt Olson, Sean Murphy, Acuna.
Some of those guys had down years
Michael
last year.
Harris, Austin Riley, Marcelo Zuna. I mean, it's just...
Harris is my kind of player. I love that
Just
guy.
a ton of guys you can pencil in to hit 30-plus home runs. I mean, they're...
Yeah. And who was it? Olsen's the one that had the down year?
Olson had a down year last year, but again, he still hit like 30 homers in a bad year. But 2023, he hit over 50.
So. He's a monster.
And Sean Murphy had some injuries last year. He got hurt again in spring, but he's still a great catcher when he's healthy. He'll probably be back relatively soon.
So Mets got their hands full in the NL East. That's the best division in the NL. Dodgers, obviously, and the Padres are good, but you got 3 top teams. So we're going to have to leave it there because we are out of time right here on this week's version of Muscle Sport Media Live, WGBB Radio. Make sure you go to MuscleSportMag.com, and we'll see you guys on Monday. Good shit, kid. Hey.
Noah, I have a job for you.
Jeez, it's not another arc, is it?
No, not again. This time I need a full-scale home renovation.
Noah Construction and Builders is your design and build partner. We do it all, from additions and dormers to full-scale renovations. Schedule your no-cost design consultation today. Visit us online at noahconstruction-builders.com.
Noah Construction and Builders, through dreams we design, with vision we build.